Disclaimer, this is from my own personal experience, yours will definitely vary. The idea that sitting in front of a screen makes you a more sociable person may seem odd to many, but from my experience, it has made me into a more sociable person than I already was. First, let me be clear. I was already a sociable person. I think I can talk to anyone. However, how I know I've been a more sociable person was that I noticed I changed my behavior for the better, and I have seen behavior from those that play video games together to those that don't. From my experience, those that play video games talk, like physically talk more when they are hanging out together, compared to those that don't. I'm not saying this is applied to everyone. I've seen people who don't play video games be more social and vice versa, but most of the time, gamers tend to be more social. I think this has to do with the fact that we share common interests we already know about, and that we've gotten used to talking to each other over Discord, TeamSpeak, Skype, whatever, using our voices rather than text, and when we play video games together, we use teamwork and communication to convey what is happening around us. The common interest, I think, is very important. When you go to an event, for example, a concert, you know what people want to talk about there, and it is probably the same reason you came. Gamers talk about video games, not all the time, in fact rarely outside of video games, but it is the known common interest we share that allows us to interact more fluidly, same as any other known interest. We also talk more through our voices. Usually most people think conversations will get dry if you talk to someone too much. It could be true for some, but I doubt it. I love talking to people, and there are so many things I find interesting and so many things people find interesting. It's hard not to have a new topic of conversation. Saying this, I think we have more to talk about when we see each other in person. After we played a game and meet up in school or at a restaurant or just back online, sometimes we talk about the game and what we did right, wrong, that really cool shot they took when it was a clutch situation. This goes back to the common interest theme again, but the fact that we talk to each other more means we know how to talk to each other. What to do, what not to do, where to go when a conversation is dead, and sometimes to just be comfortable in the silence. Knowing how to navigate a conversation is the key to having a good conversation. Let me tell you a story on how I came to this conclusion. So, when me and my friends had a sleepover, there would be the usual. We chill out and talk, we watch something, we go on our phone, we stay up late, and we talk about stuff we generally don't share. My friends are typically not gamers, at least not by the general term you would think a gamer would be. They played a few mobile games, got bored, and then went on social media. Or do this thing called going out. Crazy, right? So then, when I have a sleepover with my friends that play video games with me, it's significantly different. We talk and chill, we watch something, but instead of going on our phones, we continue to talk. We don't hide away for a little while and then come back. We just keep on talking, continuing our interaction. On one occasion, we did something I haven't done in a long time. We played tag. And let me tell you something, playing tag as a kid was pretty casual. As a teenager, it's the most intense game you've ever played in your life. But we were active, running around laughing, surprisingly having negotiations and alliances, but it was the most active I've ever been at a sleepover, and this was with a bunch of guys I know best for sitting down in front of a screen. And bear in mind, we were planning to have a LAN party, and only played 2 hours max for the 2 nights we were there. Of course, by the end of the day, we were all tired and proceeded to do our own thing, on our phones, laptops, have casual conversations. We weren't saints, but it was a hell of a lot different from what I was used to in a good way. Another time it was someone's birthday party. We had lunch, a fair amount of people were invited. We were all good friends and the gamers did have a life outside of gaming, so we had that going for us. So it was about 9 to 10 people and 5 of us were gamers, and I remember at some point during the lunch, I look around and I noticed something. Everyone who wasn't a gamer was on their phone, and everyone who was were talking to each other. The people on their phones did converse. I'm not trying to say they were antisocial, they weren't. But every time they did converse, it was about something on their phones. And rarely it was about their day. Now, you could say that I'm biased and I didn't want to hear the conversations about their day and only saw what I wanted to see. Fair point, I know that my memory isn't the best out there. So try this yourself. Next time you go out with friends that game with you, pay attention. If their phone usage is different than what you would see from others. To be honest, I hope I'm wrong about this, because if it means that all you need to interact properly in person is to interact more in general, then it means that in a world where we are all connected, we don't use that connectivity as well as we should.